In this video, we will see how to enter and edit data in the InnerSoft CAD Budget and Measurement Manager. To start, you have to create the reference measurements. Subsequently, these measurements will be affected by multipliers 1 and 2. These multipliers are by default the unit. You can fill in the references with measurements of the properties of AutoCAD objects. You have to choose in the drop-down list what property you want to measure, the length, area, or volume of such objects. The objects may belong to a single drawing or to several drawings. You can also use the real or projected distance between two or more points as a reference. Either the elevation of a specific point. The reference sign is used to input negative measurements. Another way to add reference measurements is to enter a value a number of times. Here, we enter 5 times the value 15. When you already have a series of measurements entered, you can edit the cells, both the measurement and the multipliers. There are 2 ways to edit the measurements. The first way is to make a selection of rows and manually enter the value of any of the measurement fields. You can edit the description, the reference measurement, the multipliers, the unit, and the sign. The second way is to make a selection of cells and edit the values either by measuring in AutoCAD, or by manually entering the value. Here you can also choose the sign of the measurement, or the property of the object that you want to measure in AutoCAD. Finally, you can edit the cells by entering the values manually with the keyboard. With respect to the rows, you can either copy or cut them, and then insert them into the table. You can also move the rows using the arrow controls. You can also make a selection of cells to copy and paste them in another place in the table. Editing operations with rows of measurements can also be performed with the rows of items or the rows of chapters. The sum of measurements cell and sum of items cell cannot be edited. However, you can use the editing options of cells in order to edit the multipliers of the items and the chapters. When making measurements, you can combine the reference selection tool with the object filters tool. For example, let us measure the length of all the lines that belong to a layer. You only have to select a single line of that layer, and the software will obtain the measurement of all the lines that belong to that layer.